Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today. And today, the Oklahoma City Thunder have waived small forward / power forward Rudy Gay, who they just acquired from the Atlanta Hawks I think if it wasn't a week ago, I think it was in the area of a week to 10 days ago. It was a trade that sent Patty Mills, Rudy Gay, former Rockets first-round pick Ty Washington, former Rockets first-round pick Usman Garuba, and a second-round pick, which, with that second-round pick, everybody was talking about how the OKC Thunder have 35 picks over the next 7 years, and everybody was talking about how many draft picks OKC has after this trade that got OKC 35 draft picks over the next 7 years, and that was a big everybody was talking about that in the NBA. It just felt like people were. And after that trade, the Oklahoma City Thunder have waived veteran Rudy Gay, who turns 37 years old next month in August, turns 37 years old. I think it's in the middle of August or something. He spent his last 2 seasons with Utah. Utah traded him in a trade that sent him and a second-round pick to Atlanta for John Collins, and a hell of a steal for Utah, might I mention. And then later on, after the Hawks traded for Ty Washington and Usman Garuba and a second-round pick for nothing, as a Rockets fan, I know Rockets fans were upset about that trade, but it made sense because the Rockets were clearing cap space, and also those young guys were not going to play a lot. They didn't even play a lot last year with all the veteran experience. They weren't going to play at all next year. Needed to clear some roster spots too. I know Rockets fans were upset about that. Trade made sense. So then Atlanta had Ty, Rudy Gay, and Usman Garuba. So they traded them all and a second-round pick, and I believe cash considerations as well, for Patty Mills, which was a steal of the lifetime for OKC, just adding in more young talent, more picks in Ty and Usman, and the second-round pick. But OKC has decided not to keep Rudy Gay. I thought OKC should have kept him, but at the same time, they have so many players on the roster, not everybody can stay. And, he's a guy, I thought, OKC, if you look at the roster, before they added in guys like Rudy Gay, Davis Bertans, Victor Oladipo, they only had one player over 24 years old on their roster, and that was Kenrich Williams, a guy. It was a solid player, but that's only one player that's over 24 years old. And so they added in some guys who were over 30, and Davis Bertans and Victor Oladipo. But I thought a guy who's been through a lot in the league, has played since 2006, is not as played as much as definitely a guy who, Davis Bertans and Victor Oladipo, they're solid veterans, they're good players. They have not played as much as Rudy Gay has. He's played, a good 16, 17 years in the NBA, and not only that, he's been solid at it too. I mean, he has multiple seasons where he's averaging in the area of, 18 to 21 points per game. From 2007 all the way to 2016 or 2017, he never averaged below 17 points per game. From the 2007-8 season to the 2016-17 season, you did not see Rudy Gay average less than 17 points per game in a season. He did that 9 or 10 straight seasons for either the Memphis Grizzlies or the Toronto Raptors or the Sacramento Kings. And he's been a solid vet. He's been a solid leader. And in his later years, as he's gone to the San Antonio Spurs and has gone to the Utah Jazz, has became a nice veteran leader. And I thought he would have been a good leader to all their young guys in Utah, all their young guys in OKC, but I guess OKC just didn't want to keep him, and it makes sense. They have so many players on the roster. But I'm going to go over Rudy Gay's last couple years in the NBA. I'm going to go over his last 3 or 4 seasons. So this season, he played 56 games with the Jazz, averaged 14 minutes per game. He averaged 5 points per game with 3 rebounds per game. The season before with the Jazz in the 21-22 season played 55 games with 1 game start, played 19 minutes per game, averaged 8 points per game. He also averaged 4.5 rebounds per game, and his three-point percentage was 35%. Then in the 2020-21 season with the San Antonio Spurs, he averaged 12 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. His three-point percentage was 38%. Played 63 games, 1 start, 22 minutes per game. 2019-20 season with the Spurs, 67 games, 5 starts, 22 minutes per game. 11 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. Three-point percentage was 34%. And then last season, I'm going to go over the 18-19 season with the Spurs. That is the season where he contributed way more. Was a starter for most of the year, 69 games, 51 game starts, 27 minutes per game. And his three-point percentage was 40%, which I believe that's the highest he's ever had in his career. Yeah, that was the highest he's ever shot three-point percentage-wise in his NBA career. That was that 18-19 season with 40% from 3. He averaged 14 points per game with 7 rebounds per game. So it was really solid in that 18-19 season as a starting power forward for the San Antonio Spurs. So, I mean, yeah. I like this. I do get this move for OKC, but at the same time, I thought he would have been a good veteran for the OKC Thunder. Probably would have not played that much, but at the same time, them waiving him makes sense. They have a lot of guys on their roster. A lot of young guys. They have their new 2 veterans in Davis Bertans and Victor Oladipo. They just added in Ty Washington and Usman Garuba. Not everybody can stay. And I think this is probably going to be one of many moves of the Oklahoma City Thunder, making cuts, roster cuts, guys being waived. So I'd expect more guys to maybe be let go by OKC as we get close to September training camp. I think that's when training camp starts in middle September, near the middle, maybe near to the end of September. And middle to end of September, I believe that's when training camp starts. It's like in the area of September 14th to September 30th. In that area is when training camp starts in the NBA. So they got some time to, make some roster cuts. But I definitely think there will be a lot of guys that maybe should be on the roster, just like potentially Rudy Gay, that will be let go from the OKC Thunder. You guys have your thoughts on the move by OKC? That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.